Hey guys, welcome to our next episode of GMF Mic'd Up, Lifting and Life. With us today, we have Alex.
Going on, Coach Ray?
I like it. I like it. So how you been?
I've been pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I like it. I like
yeah.
it. So, firstly, I like to always start off with what got you into lifting?
What got me into lifting was actually my dad.
Really?
Yeah, my dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Care to elaborate?
Yeah, so my dad's been training since he was young.
Mm-hmm.
And I've played footy since I was a little kid.
Yeah.
And then by 16, he got me into the gym.
Yep.
So every time I went overseas to visit him, um, when I got to about 16, 15, he said, "Oh, why don't you come to gym with me?" And that's how I got into lifting because he had
Right.
friends that are bodybuilders.
Okay.
I remember at his work, he had a locker and he had a
Mm.
friend of his, like a little picture of a
Mm-hmm.
bodybuilder. And I go, "Oh, who's that?"
Yeah.
And that's how I got in touch with bodybuilding.
Okay.
That's how he introduced me to bodybuilding. So
That's very
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
So, were there saw the image on there? Was it the image of your dad, or was it of someone else, a friend of his?
It was a
Sorry.
friend of his,
Yeah.
like a friend of his competing.
Yeah.
And obviously as a teenager, as a kid, you look at it and be
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, bodybuilder.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's how I kind
And
of,
that started your journey.
yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
so
Yeah.
very much more so life started your lifting journey in
Yeah.
that context.
Yeah.
That's a very beautiful start to that in that relation. So did you immediately like just start hitting the gym? How was the process there?
At first, he like started and I was like,
Yeah,
like, yeah, didn't think much of it.
fair enough.
I actually kind of stopped for a bit,
Yep.
but then I think, um, then I got back into it maybe because I wanted to put on size for
Mm.
football.
Mm-hmm.
And then during that time, around when I was 17, 18, that's when like lifting started blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, any millennials, you'll know the Ziz era,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
come at me, bruh.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah. The
that
classic.
era,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I think that's when I kind of got deep into
Rest
it.
in peace.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What are you going
All
Yeah.
right. So yeah,
That's when I kind of got back into it
yeah.
and really dug deep into it and into bodybuilding.
Right. So
Yeah.
yeah, peak Ziz era. Peak. I would say that's like peak. Yeah, like peak Australian like millennial
Yeah.
lifting era.
Like if anyone know like that Jack 3D era, like
Yeah.
the best pre-workout there is.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So right then and there. So into training. Prior to that, obviously playing footy.
Yep.
Rugby league or
Yeah, league.
union.
League.
Okay.
Yep.
League. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah.
What position?
Center.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Okay, fair
Yep.
play, fair play. So obviously we're playing footy, we're hitting the gym, we're at peak Australian like lifting, I guess, era in that context. It's really blowing up.
Yep.
When did the distinction or change to train for bodybuilding?
So football stopped when I not long after I finished school
Mm.
when I had an injury to my right knee. So I wasn't really playing football anymore. So, but I still stuck to the gym. So
Mm-hmm.
that's when yeah, bodybuilding kind of started.
Mm.
And yeah,
And
yeah.
was it a self-taught journey at that point in time?
At that time it was somewhat self-taught.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started at Macquarie Fields Leisure Centre,
Mm-hmm.
and the big boys took me in and taught me a few
Yeah.
things. Obviously, my dad taught me a few things.
Yep.
And then as I was going back to visit dad, and one of his bodybuilding friend actually kind of started teaching me more of the form and techniques,
Mm.
and that's when like things started to change. My physique started to change.
Yeah.
That's when lifting properly was the way to go, not
Yeah.
just like pushing as heavy as you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair play. All right. So then that's the journey starting. Now, how does that affect the life at that point? So are we studying? Are we at school at that point? What's going on there?
I was still studying,
Yeah.
working part-time,
Yep.
still studying, so I could still train 5 days a week,
Mm-hmm.
6 days a week.
Yep.
So yeah, that's when it kind of started.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
And did it
yeah,
did it have an influence into your life choices around like career choices or anything like that?
yeah, 100%.
Mm.
Because when I finished school, I didn't know what I wanted to do, so I was
Mm.
just doing bartending,
Mm-hmm.
at a cafe club,
Yep.
and just so happened that cafe club has a gym.
Mm-hmm.
and I was training at that gym, and then
Right.
I thought, oh, I like training, like go to the gym,
Mhm.
so might give personal training a shot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
You want to give PTing a shot,
yep,
and I'm guessing that stuck.
yep.
Yeah,
That's stuck pretty
that
much.
stuck, and
Yeah.
just yeah, okay, fair enough. And has that influenced you in your I guess your PT career? Has that influenced your style of training, clientele, that type of stuff? Has it assisted, aided? Anything there? Any crossover potentially or anything like that?
Um, yeah, yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Because I mean, that's the style I like to train, like
Yep.
hypertrophy,
Yep.
bodybuilding strength. But clientele wise, it
Mm.
wasn't all about bodybuilding.
Mm.
Like as you go on, you kind of realize, okay,
Mm.
not everyone wants to do bodybuilding.
Mm.
So this is, as a PT, as a coach, this is when you need to kind of, obviously you pick a niche, but you also need to branch out into other
Yeah.
things
Other
to
fields.
suit, Gen Pop. And
Yeah, gem pop.
yeah,
You start to realize it's the lifting isn't the priority,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
The physique is part of it. Physique is an outcome,
yeah.
but sometimes the mental health, the
Oh,
community
100%.
aspect of it, the consistency, routine. Everybody has their own little hook points into
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Um, Now we're PTing there. Life's trucking along. You're obviously happy doing the PT and
yeah.
coaching. Where does your journey start with GMF?
I started last year in March, so I've always wanted to compete
Mm-hmm.
since maybe when I was 18 and 19.
Mm-hmm.
Like, me and my dad would always, talk over the phone,
Yep.
because he lives overseas.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he lives overseas, so
Yeah.
I'd go visit him like every year, every 2 years. So
Beautiful.
every time we talk on the phone,
Mm.
like throughout my whole, I would say like when I was 18,
Mm-hmm.
17,
Mm-hmm.
until now, like we'll talk about bodybuilding all the
Nice.
time, especially when Olympia was coming around. We'd be like,
Right.
"Oh, Dad, did you check out who's competing? Who do you think is gonna get it?"
The
And then,
lineup,
yeah,
the
and we'll
the
send each other
the
videos and
positioning, and
pictures.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and we'll have our favorite bodybuilders and stuff. And from there, that's when I kind of like I wanted to start
Mm.
competing, but I kept saying it throughout my whole like 20s, but I always put my social life
Mm-hmm.
over it
Mm-hmm.
because, as you know, competing is a huge sacrifice.
Yep.
It's not as easy as what everyone thinks,
Mm.
like everyone thinks, oh, I'm gonna compete.
Yeah, it's just you just turn it on.
Yeah, easy said and done. Like
Yeah, you
easy
just
said
show
and done.
up.
Yeah, yeah, easy said and done. Like, if you want, like for me,
Mm.
if I want to compete, I want to do it properly.
Mm.
Wasn't gonna be half-assed. Wasn't to say like, oh, just yeah, I did it. I come on
Mm.
stage. Yeah,
Mm.
like it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So like I'm in my 30s now,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought,
You're 30.
yeah,
Jeez, I won't put you over a day over 20 years. All right, fair enough.
yeah,
Well, that's newsflash to me. You could have slipped that through, and
could
no
have.
one would have realized. But anyway,
I had to
yep.
expose myself.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I thought, like I have to do it now, like
Mm.
get serious. So
Yep.
yeah, I started last year.
Nice.
And I always knew about GMF
Okay.
as my work was kind of close to the old GMF location in
Yeah, in
Preston.
Preston's,
Yeah,
yes, the OG
yeah,
Preston's.
OG.
Yeah.
Always knew about it, but I don't know, at first I didn't want to go to GMF at first because I was like, oh, maybe I'm not ready for grading because
Mm.
I've heard stories about the sensei.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, so I went for a coach
Hmm.
and that didn't work out. So I thought, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna go for
Yeah.
GMF and yeah, started then.
What was the change there that you believed that you were ready for GMF?
I've it was more this is it or never.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was,
This is like
yeah.
this is it, this is
You need
serious.
to take it serious.
Yeah.
You need a serious coach. You need a serious environment.
Yeah.
And you're like, GMF is the place to be.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So obviously then jumped, came on board,
Yeah.
did all the, the onboarding, did the leg day, did did all the hard work.
Yeah.
And now we're on, as you stated, we're going for season B, correct?
Season B, yep.
Season B,
Yeah.
and we're in bodybuilding division.
That's
Yes?
correct. Yeah.
Fantastic. Mass monsters.
Mass
Right, the
monsters.
big boys, as I like to always say.
Lightweight though.
No, get out of it. I've seen you. I've seen you up there. We've all seen the photos. I'm gonna crop in some of those shots into this, so don't stress. People will have an understanding. Don't be saying little boy. Anyway, so you're in prep now for
Yep.
season B. How has prep been?
Prep's been good.
Yeah,
It's been good. Eye opener.
yeah.
Has its moments where it's
Mm,
been tough, but
mm,
when you lock in,
mm,
when you want it bad,
mm.
nothing's gonna stop you.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And how, so obviously we can sit here and talk, till the cows come home about, like how's it affecting the lifts and whatnot. But I want to talk more about prep, maybe from a life standpoint.
Yeah.
So yeah, how's, life at home change? How's even just life with, with dad, like now that he knows you're going through prep, what is the conversations changing? Is the attitude changing? I don't know, pick some moments. I don't know, talk about that.
Yeah, so with dad, no, he's proud. He's
Yeah,
proud. He's excited.
that's beautiful.
He's happy for me, and I send him updates on how I'm looking, and he's like, "Jeez,"
Yeah,
he's like,
that's
"Wow."
that's my son.
Yeah, no, yeah. He's like, "Wow, that's my son."
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's good. He's
Mm,
always asking like, "How are you? You doing
mm,
all right?" Like he
mm.
knows it's tough
Yep.
because he has friends that've done it
Correct.
before,
Yeah.
and he's exposed to that.
Mm,
Um, Life wise, yeah, big part of my life was a huge sacrifice.
mm.
I'm a big foodie,
Oh,
so
okay.
that kind of went out the window.
Yeah.
Mum loves to go out and eat with me, and
Yeah.
that had to be sacrificed. But
Yeah.
no, she understands,
Yeah.
like and she
Yeah.
supports it all the way,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
that's a very good point there.
yeah,
When you're going through prep, I guess a lot of people don't understand, or potentially, unless they're exposed to it in some
yeah,
capacity, that it's very much a sacrifice on the individual, but their support network.
yeah,
Like the meals, maybe it's a partner, it's a close relative, a loved one. They like, okay, we're not going to go out tonight. It's Friday night, Saturday night. That's usually when we go out. I
yeah,
understand. You're locked in. To throw you out of whack. Yeah, it's difficult, and there is there's a consequence also,
yeah.
because you only have a finite amount of time. Everything has to be systematic, programmatic,
That's
locked
correct.
in.
Yeah,
You can't get time back. You can't hop on the stage and be like, actually, can I get another week here?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
big.
that's really phenomenal, and that's awesome to hear that your dad doing the check-in, like
Yeah.
following along. Do you know if he's gonna come down for the shows?
I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Maybe not,
Okay.
but do have a long-term goal
Yeah.
where I do want to go over to Hong Kong
Yeah.
and like compete.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, in front of him.
I'll
So
be I'll be yelling in the crowd.
%.
I'll follow. Wherever someone from GMF is competing, I'm there
Yeah,
yelling
excuse
in
to
the
go
crowd.
overseas, right?
Yeah, excuse, sure. I just want to yell numbers out. That's all. No, but that's really wonderful, and that's a really good goal. So
Yeah.
longevity. So it's not one and done multiple
Nah,
times.
nah.
That's wonderous.
Yeah.
So we're going through prep, seeing how that's changed. Now I hear, well, I've heard, apparently you're very, well, a fan of Lee Priest. Is that correct?
Yeah, Lee
Yeah,
Priest
yeah.
and Sean Ray.
Okay, Lee
Yeah.
Priest and Sean Ray. I don't know if you know, but I actually met Lee Priest.
Oh, no,
Yeah, literally, I have a photo of Lee
I
Priest.
think I have to
Yeah.
out of innocence,
Oh, okay.
but
All right. All right. I casually ran into him. All
yeah,
right. So I think
nice.
I topped that. It wasn't at an expo. It was
Yeah.
just a casual run in. No, but that's really good. So what when it comes to those style of lifters, do you find inspiration in them, or do you find maybe not mimicry, but like in terms of, like, let's say like Sean Ray from a opposing standpoint? Where's the pull there?
Especially with Sean Ray,
Yeah.
I just love the nineties bodybuilders. They're just aesthetically pleasing.
Mm.
It's just not all about mass monsters.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong, like Coleman, Dorian Yates, Jacob
Legends are
Ladd,
legends,
legends,
but I
but
hear what you're
like
saying.
Sean Ray, I kind of relate to him because I know I'm not going to go on there the biggest,
Mm.
but I'm gonna, show my strong point.
Yep.
And that's what he did. Like
Yeah.
he knew he wasn't the biggest,
Yeah.
but he worked with what he had,
Correct.
and he never won an Olympia,
Mm.
but he was top 2,
Yep.
top 3,
Which
and
is phenomenal.
we just phenomenal.
On that
Yeah,
at that world stage,
yeah,
you are battling against the elite of the
the
elite.
elite. Yeah,
At that point in time, there is no other better on the
yeah,
stage with you, which is crazy to think about.
100%. And speaking about Lee Priest,
Mm.
like he wasn't the tallest or the
Nope.
biggest,
Nope.
and at one stage he did beat Ronnie Coleman.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the OG giant killer.
The OG
Yeah,
giant killer, yes.
yeah,
No, he's very, very, yeah, very inspirational. But yeah, obviously good to have those role models in the bodybuilding world, and to take that and adopt it, and take
yeah,
inspiration where you can. And like you said, your focus there is bringing the package that's you.
yeah,
Not trying to mimic something that isn't you, because
100%.
a lot of this learning, in the natural bodybuilding world, it's you're trying not to, I guess, set yourself up to, I have to look this way,
Yeah,
because maybe your body wasn't designed or structured that way. So you gotta present the best version of you.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's different.
Mm,
So
mm.
you gotta find what's you,
Mm,
not someone else. Don't compare yourself to someone else. You gotta
correct.
find what's you. Be original,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
that's definitely sometimes you see
Yeah.
that happen. Sometimes up on stage,
Yeah.
even with the posing, someone might come on stage, be a little bit, very natural in their own body. See someone next to them, maybe a bit larger,
Yeah.
and they try to match their posing, but that person is posing to their body,
Yeah.
where that individual can't pose to that body because, well, that you're not that
You're not that
individual,
body.
and you
Yeah.
see it immediately. It shifts and it changes, and
Yeah.
that's something that, like you're saying, people need to very much accept that, and that's great that you have the maturity to do so.
Yeah.
Because yeah, sometimes people unfortunately, yeah, don't have that. Now, so we're going for prep comps. Season B's coming up. That's fantastic, exciting, big team to be a part of
Yeah.
this
That's
year.
huge this
It's a
year.
stacked team.
Yeah.
Obviously, bodybuilding's also stacked.
Yeah.
I'm super excited. I can't wait for it. You fellas are actually you're gonna absolutely bring it. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about?
Um, don't know.
No, nothing you want to
Don't
talk
know.
about. Some funny stories, maybe some GMF highlights, or maybe even
GMF
a
highlights.
prep highlight, something that's funny that's happening during prep. Maybe people out there that are in prep at the moment can relate to. Even a message out to the people that are in prep with you or going to be up on the stage with you. Anything. It doesn't really matter. It's more of an opportunity for you to just talk your mind.
Um, no, just enjoy the process
Yeah,
in prep.
yeah.
Anyone that's going through it now,
Mm.
yeah, just enjoy the process.
Okay, fair
Yeah,
enough.
definitely.
Respect it.
Yeah.
I guess it's a memory in itself,
Of course, it's like a
right?
journey.
Yeah.
You're gonna go through your ups and downs, but
Mm,
just enjoy it and have fun.
yeah.
Sometimes I'll get moments where I'm doubting myself or I'm not
Mm,
happy with how I'm looking, or uh, for instance, you're in the gym and you're like, oh, I don't feel strong, but that's
mm,
all part of it. So
mm, mm, mm.
don't stress yourself out.
Yeah, yeah.
Enjoy it,
Enjoy it.
have
Set the
fun,
memories.
set the memories, have a good support system. I think
Yeah,
that's a
that's
very
key.
important thing.
Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah,
it's right. I think you hit a marker there. Some people rush to the stage. I think that is the be all to end all.
yeah,
That's the memory maker. But you're living, week to week, during prep, and you're making all those new memories in there, the highs and the lows.
yeah,
Memories don't have to necessarily be good. You can have some not bad memories per se, but I guess memorable moments where it's like you're in the low, you look back, you're like, man, I was there, like at that depletion, and I was still lifting, I was still pushing it, I still showed up, I
yeah.
still went to work, I was still present for mum. That's huge.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a little appreciation as
Mm,
well. And like looking back when I first started,
mm,
you know, at that, some moments back then I thought, oh, I thought, oh, like I had some doubts, but you look at your body now and you're like, oh, geez, like look at the
mm.
change, like,
The harshest critic is
the
your
harshest
your
is
own eyes,
yourself.
your own eyes and own mind,
Yeah,
and that bathroom mirror. Yeah.
yeah, that bathroom mirror, yeah.
That bathroom mirror. I got different mirror. No, joking. No, but yeah, the bathroom mirror in your eyes and your brain is a vicious. Yeah. When you go to stage, obviously there's judges, but ultimately you are always going to be your toughest judge.
100%.
You are always
Yeah,
going to look at yourself in the most negative light, in the worst lighting, and in the worst context of everything.
yeah,
Because I think that's an individual just wanting the best for themselves.
yep,
You're gonna put yourself or measure yourself against the greatest, the best, the most ideal outcome,
yeah.
and that must really hit hard in prep.
Yeah, it does sometimes, but you gotta, calm your mind and bring yourself back down and be like, hey,
Mm,
as long as you're happy,
mm,
keep pushing.
yeah,
And like I said, like biggest things like don't compare, don't start looking at someone else,
mm,
don't start comparing, just
yeah.
you versus you.
Yeah, do the
Yeah,
work.
do the
You and
work.
you. It's you up on that stage at the
That's
end of the day. You
100%.
you bring your package. You
Yeah,
refine that package. And I like to tell people, ultimately, at the end of the day, when you go up on stage, that's yours.
yeah,
That is yours for life.
yeah,
That is, you built this. No one else did. Obviously, you have support and whatnot, and they contribute. But ultimately, that's you versus you, as like
yeah.
people like
It
to
is
say.
you
So
versus you.
yeah.
And like, hey, if you didn't do as well as you planned,
Mm,
you know, these comps are always going to be here,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So
It's
you
a
got plenty of time ahead of you to,
mm.
to come back and nail
Mm.
it again,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
it's definitely, and I think
Yeah,
I think that's something that hopefully the community starts to rally around and really adopt
yeah,
multiple goes.
yeah, 100%. Like for example, like look at Ronnie Coleman. When
Mm,
he first started, he was like didn't do very good,
Yeah.
you know. And then look at him now,
Yeah.
8 times Mr.
Yeah.
Olympia.
You don't recall those moments. You
No,
don't look back and like, oh yeah, but this time,
yeah,
but you do have to go on the stage. You got to learn it. You got to learn the
yeah,
presence. You got to learn the flow of it. You got to learn it as an environment. Just like learning a new exercise
yeah.
and a new range of motion or technique. I think competing is very similar. You got to put the reps in. You got to
You got to,
understand it.
yeah,
You got to understand the judging too. Federation to federation.
yeah,
Also potentially year to year or comp to comp.
yeah,
The rules might change. They might be looking for something different now,
yeah,
and that's happened at the largest scale. And why wouldn't it happen, obviously, at a natural scale
yeah,
also? Oh, that's fantastic. Well, yeah, I think that hits all the key markers. We talked
yeah,
about lifting, we talked about life, we talked about prep. Yeah, unless we've got anything else, I think we'll wrap it up there.
yeah, yeah.
I just want to say it's been awesome to watch you and your journey.
No,
Here I've
thank
been
you.
present and I've been here at the posing.
Yeah,
I'm super psyched for season B. It's going to be phenomenal. Like I said, it's going to be absolutely stacked.
yep.
GMF is bringing the
We bring
powerhouse.
some heat. We
Oh, we
bring
bring
some heat.
some heat,
Yeah.
sweet. I can't wait for you to
No,
get up on the stage.
no,
I'm going
thank
to
you.
be in the crowd every show. I know the community is going to be there. So yeah, just lock it in,
That's it.
dig hard. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get to the stage, and it's gonna be an absolute blast.
Yeah, I can't wait. No, I
Right,
appreciate it.
thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for having. Oh,
Thank
sorry.
you.
Thank you for coming.